Sex trafficking is an issue that is very real even here in Connecticut, as well as globally. In Christoph and Woodan's novel Half the Sky, they detail ways in which trafficking can occur and some of the efforts that can help. In order to get more information, there are many resources available. One of these resources is the Harriet Beecher Stowe Center. Recently, they held an event of human trafficking. We spoke to many volunteers and people leading the fight against sex trafficking. Here are their stories and ways you can help.
Catherine Kane. I'm the executive director of a museum and program center that we call the Harriet Beecher Stowe Center. And Stowe, of course, was a 19th century author who wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin. And she picked up her pen to change the world, work against slavery, and so that's a natural programming area for us. And for 4 years now, we've been exchanging, giving the public opportunities to learn about human trafficking in the United States and internationally. So this program tonight, working with Tammy Sneed from DCF and Steve, who's a volunteer abolitionist, was an opportunity to share with our audience and our public what they can do to stop human trafficking. The things they can do, they can open their eyes and look around and be aware that there's human exploitation going on in a variety of quarters, and sometimes it can be right in front of our noses, right there in front of us, whether it's exploiting somebody commercially, enslaving their work, or enslaving their body as in a form of prostitution. So open their eyes, and Love 146 is one of the groups that's working very successfully with organizations. So if you go to 146.org on the website, you can learn about them and their work educating people and participating. We also learned tonight that the Department of Children and Families in Connecticut does training that the regular public can take as well.
I started in 2009. A good friend of mine, Karen, her daughter was actually up at Holy Cross University, and she did a semester down in Lima, Peru. And she got involved with a group down there called Generacion, and they're involved with the street children and people that are being trafficked down in Lima. And when she came back, she had a movie night at college, as part of her curriculum. And wanting to support my friend and my friend's daughters that I've known all their lives, I went up there for the movie night. It was the movie Holly. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's you can get it on DVD. It's called Holly, and it's about a prostitute in Cambodia. But when I read that, when I saw that, I was just like blown away, and I was brokenhearted. But that was over in Cambodia. Yeah,
Thank you.
that was over in Cambodia. It still wasn't real for me here. Then I read the book Not for Sale by David Batstone. And Not for Sale, that's the group I originally started working with. And that really brought it home to what's happening around the world, but also what's happening here in the United States. And then once I invested my time and became a volunteer, you meet survivors. You meet, the people that are on the front lines, like Officer Skates and Tammy Sneed from DCF, and I've met Kathleen Liner from the FBI, and you meet these men and women, mostly women, quite honestly, but you meet these women that are out there dealing with this on a daily basis, really saving people's lives, and it really makes you think, wow, what am I doing? I could go off and feel good about talking or educating people, which is important, don't get me wrong, but you know what? I need to help these women.
Well, actually, two things. We were seeing a number of young people going AWOL from congregate care facilities, which we talked about earlier today. So these are very vulnerable young people, and we were questioning what was happening to them while they were AWOL. So we started to look at the data, we started to talk to the young people, and we were hearing their stories. At the same time, we were learning of this issue on a national level and hearing from local law enforcement cases where they would arrest prostitutes, and then we'd say, no, this is our young person, and we knew what she or he went through many years prior. So that really got us to start to focus on this. We've taken it on kind of in three major areas. We've done the identification piece, which is really creating a response. So if we get a call on a potential victim, we immediately get that referral. We start to talk about this young person. We reach out to the regions, we reach out to the community, and we start to assess that young person. So we do identification, we do education, which was tonight, really getting out to the community, to police, to EMS, to schools, to educate them on what this looks like. And then we do restoration, which is really helping the young person move forward, looking at his or her health needs, her medical needs, mental health needs, education, connecting to mentoring, some of them foster families. So we really work on what's next for these young people, including supporting them through the court process if we're looking at a prosecution of a pimp ring. So. Well, there's lots of great resources. Love 146 is a great resource. So if you look up on their website, Polaris Project, Shared Hope International, all terrific websites, and it will show you what is needed out there as far as education, resources. So that's one of the best ways. But as college students, what I'm telling folks is communicate this, get on your internets. I'm not a technology person, but start to talk about this because young people, girls are being recruited by the internet, and I truly believe that young people can start to educate by the internet. So if you could go at it in that direction, I think you'd make a difference.
Actually, as you might know, I am a police officer with Hartford, and what actually exposed me to all this, I actually arrested a young girl one night in 2004, and upon speaking with her, I knew she wasn't the typical girl that I usually dealt with, and basically she told me that she had been kidnapped and forced into prostitution, and I didn't believe her when she first started telling me her story until I spent about 6 hours on an interview with her, and she really detailed everything that had happened to her. And with that single interview started a 4-year investigation into the largest human trafficking case in Connecticut. And it was actually the first case to ever be prosecuted in a federal court under the new trafficking statutes out of Washington. So it's a national case, but that all started from one girl getting arrested on Weathersfield Avenue in Hartford, and just us having a conversation and saying something's not right with this girl. And that ended up being, we ended up with over 100 victims out of that case, and 12 traffickers, and they all went away federally. So basically, the internet. Go online, start reading, put in trafficking. There's a lot of information on the internet about it. There's a lot of nonprofit organizations that are starting up and trying to educate people on programs.
My first year of grad school, Love 146 had come to do a symposium of sorts to educate us on human trafficking, and at that point I wasn't really sure what I was doing in social work, and it was kind of, I call it my Oprah aha moment, and it was just something that I was felt immediately passionate about and wanted to fight for. I'm the training and outreach coordinator, and I wear several hats. I run 2 programs. One is called My Life, My Choice, and goes into group homes and residential facilities for adolescent girls across the state. Another is called Tell Your Friends, and that educates students across Connecticut on the issue of trafficking. And then I train adults and service providers and mentor survivors.
Sex trafficking is an issue that many may not realize happens in their own hometowns. Human trafficking is an issue that exists globally, and the more people that are informed, the better we can fight against it. So tell your friends, share this video, and check out the other resources provided below the video. Thank you for watching.